Hello there, Diet Rebel Scum and Diet Rebel Scum Curious. Diet Rebel Scum being those of us who have taken the government recommended food pyramid and said to hell with that. We don't eat high carb, low fat, we eat high fat, low carb. Someday I'm gonna mess that up, if I haven't already. Long time no check-in. Tell you what, it is really hard when Halloween is around and you buy all this Halloween candy and only two groups of trick-or-treaters come up and to your door. You're left with a hell of a lot of trick-or-treat candy. Not gonna lie, I have sampled some. Specifically, these tiny, fraudulently small Snickers bars that they have now. They really are one bite. They used to be kind of like 2 bites, the small ones. Now they're like a little 1 bite. I think somebody's about to come in. There's a guy like hot rodding around the neighborhood. I wish they would just go out on the highway if they want to go that fast. Anyway, so yes, I have sampled a few candies. Not enough to put me in the high carb diet range by any means, but there's like little Twix. Twix is another addicting candy bar that was a favorite as a child. And then there's gummy Lifesavers and gummy, yeah, I think it's Lifesavers. Lifesavers candies, not the hard ones, but they'd make like a gummy version. So there's like these little packets of that. But the bulk of my diet has still been bacon, eggs, hamburger. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Bacon, eggs, and a hamburger. Yeah, I've been taking care of my mom a lot. I've been kind of busy. That's why I haven't been able to really check in. It's a matter of trying to maintain my full-time job and taking care of my parents. My dad had a very mild stroke last weekend and had to go into the hospital. So had to take care of my mom while my sister was at the hospital with him. But anyway, so things are still going. I've been running a lot, quite a bit, still keeping the speed work going, the repeat quarter miles, and the Salina Half Marathon is this coming Saturday. So I still, here's what's funny, all my running friends that are going to Salina, Kansas, of course, they registered a long time ago. And I still haven't committed, but I'll do that tonight. I think my dad was, in the hospital just up until yesterday or day before. Forgot what day it was he came home. And I think it was in the morning yesterday. But anyway, he's back home. So I told him, I said, Daddy, you cannot have any kind of emergency for the next week. You're not allowed. Because I have to go to Salina, Kansas on Friday. We have to be there Friday to pick up our race packet for the race Saturday morning. And anyway, so I took off work Friday, and I'm actually on my way to my parents' house now, walking from my house, taking the scenic route, so that I can have a nice long walk and talk. Anyway, yeah, I did a 6-mile run today, a bunch of repeat quarter miles, and I had a nice run. I almost want to call it a breakthrough. I keep bringing up these breakthrough runs. But I tell you what, the half marathon Saturday is going to be a mystery. I'm trying to think of what pace am I going to take off and try to maintain for that. And I'm kind of thinking around maybe... I'd like to maybe take off at 8:15. I'd like to average 8:15 pace. I should be able to do that because, I did a 12-mile run a year ago, and I think I averaged like 8:12 or something for that. Now, it was really tough, and I was running with the marathon training group, and I was pretty gassed by the end of it. But my God, I've been training for a year, and now incorporating speed work, I should be able to do that, So yeah, maybe I'll find a pace group that's like the 8 flat pace group for and just hang with them, because I'm only doing the half. I'm not doing the full marathon, just doing the half. So I know I'm not going to have any problem like hitting the wall or anything like that. So I just walked up in my parents' driveway. I'll check in later, and everything's going pretty well. Just a few little samples of Halloween candy, which was kind of bad. Not a bunch. I didn't sit there and just, constantly eat for 30 minutes a bunch of sugary naughtiness. Let's see, there were, at my parents' house, there's the candy-coated nuts, so I have eaten a few of those. But like I say, nothing to throw me into the high-carb diet that I used to do back in my vegetarian days. Looking back at that, it's a wonder I lived through it. My vegetarian days were whole giant blenders full of frozen banana and fruit with sugar added into that, and like protein powders. It was probably so many grams of carbs. You could probably build a house out of sugar cubes with the amount of sugar that I ate in like a week's time back then. Probably aged me. Probably that's why I had plantar fasciitis. I think I was probably completely inflamed. I got the flu, cold or flu every year with everybody else back then. And, now I'm back to never getting sick. Unless I eat a bunch of sugar, and then I get like I did that a couple months ago, where I had a few beers and I think an egregious sugar at the same time in the same weekend or whatever, and it kind of felt like I was getting sick, but I didn't quite get sick, but it kind of felt like I was. Yeah, that's weird stuff. So yeah, definitely a pattern with all that. But here I've been running like hell, really training and not getting injured. And I've been hammering myself pretty good, with the repeat quarter miles, trying to run in the 7 flat and just under pace for like repeat quarter miles with 90 seconds rest in between. That has noticeably gotten my legs to move a little faster in my regular kind of runs, which there's few of, but I'll be doing one tomorrow. So tomorrow morning I'm running early in the morning with my running peeps, coworkers that are going to Salina, Kansas, and we're probably going to run 4 miles in the morning. I would like to get there early and run a few Strava segments. Oh, I gotta tell you about this. So the other day, gotta switch hands here. Right arm's getting tired. So the other day, I have been contemplating this, and I finally pulled the trigger. I joined Strava as a paid subscriber, so my Garmin data goes to Strava. I've been on Strava forever for free. Not forever, about a year and a half maybe. I can't remember when I first got on Strava. But anyway, you can follow me on Strava, feel free. Stephen A. Pell. It's you can compete in the segments, and the segments are, if you don't know, if you're not a Strava user, it's just recorded, a few. It can be a couple hundred yards, it could be a few blocks, it could be 20 miles, whatever. The people name segments, just routes. I could make my 4-mile loop in my neighborhood here a segment if I wanted to. But anyway, and people name these segments. And what's funny is there's a bunch of them all downtown, because so many people run downtown, all these named segments, and you can become a local legend just by running that segment more times in 90 days than anybody else. So there's a few segments scattered around downtown that, there's 3 pretty close together, all within half a mile of each other, that I can run that aren't hardly ran by anybody anymore, and I can become local legend of those. So I've already run those 3 segments once, and I'm gonna get there if I get there early tomorrow morning. I'm gonna run those 3 segments again. It makes about 4 miles. One of them is a great hill, a really nice steep hill. It's called The Hill, and it's on a street called Chartel, and yeah, it's a steep hill, and it's a three blocks long about, and it's pretty steep, about a 3% incline, something like that. And well, the average 3. This hill segment actually includes about a block that's rather level, so it's kind of like starts out kind of level, maybe a little bit inclined, and then it hits the big incline for like 3 blocks. So it's a nice hard effort. It's a real good training hill to train on. So yeah, I ran that a few days ago. And then there's a 1 mile. That was a 1 mile race. Oh, somebody let go. Oh, there's several balloons. I don't know if you can see this. There's 1, 2, there's 3. It's like somebody's birthday. So the one balloon is a number. That's a 4 and a 3. And then there's one way up there. I'm not sure what that is, but it must be somebody's 43rd birthday or 34th birthday or 130. Well, I don't know what whatever, depends on what the other balloon is. Anyway, okay, I digress. It's not often you see balloons floating in the air. That's kind of cool. So anyway, Salina, Kansas, half marathon. I'm returning. Last year I ran a full marathon there. It was kind of a disaster. Did the first half pretty fast. I better do this half marathon faster than I did the first half of last year. Last year I did it under 9. I'm gonna have to look it up to make damn sure I beat that, because I will be pissed if I don't beat that by at least a few minutes. But okay, I'm done rambling. I just needed to check in and say hello and say, yes, I have been keeping it low carb. No carb? No. Low carb? Yes. With a few Halloween candies. This really shouldn't have happened, but, have to relive childhood. Catch you later.